The secret relationship of traditional rulers in Delta State and herdsmen unveiled. Good day, everyone. Here's the news for today. How herders use cows' money to entice traditional rulers. The second vice chairman of Delta State Council of Traditional Rulers, Pere SP Luke Kalanama the in this interview speaks on the claim that alleged ceding of land to herdsmen in the state by traditional ruler is chiefly responsible for the herdsmen killing in Delta State. The traditional ruler addresses other factors suspected to be contributing to the alarming state of the crisis. Herdsmen killing have been a source of tension in Delta of late, with about 30 camps identified as places where herders launch attacks on communities in the state. Traditional rulers in Delta State have been accused of ceding land to herdsmen. The act has been identified as a contributory factor to the incessant killing of natives by the cattle rearers in the state. As one of the leaders of the State Council of Traditional Rulers, what can I say about all these allegations? The Traditional Council in Delta State, led by the chairman Obi of our kingdom, Obi Emmanuel Efezomo, the first vice chairman, Oroje of Okwe, and myself, met recently because of the increasing rate of clashes between herdsmen and the host communities, especially in the North Senatorial District. Early this year, we also witnessed clashes between herdsmen and their host community in Ugoli North local government area, specifically in Agadama town. No fewer than 10 people died in that incident. Recent clashes becomes a source of worry to the traditional rulers, and we have seen that the government is doing its best. The governor has convened two security meetings to put an end to this crisis. It appears all effort has not yielded any desired results. As a result of that, at our meeting which was held last Thursday, we asked the Commissioner of Police to come and brief us on what is happening in Delta North and other parts of the state. In addition to the clashes between herdsmen and the natives, particularly in Okpana, kidnapping and ransom is also widespread. The Commissioner came and briefed us. Another issue discussed was the influx of Amajiri into the state. Since these men are manning the borders, we were surprised that the borders became so porous to the extent that people can actually come into the state freely without being stopped by these men. The police commissioner in the response said, from the primary findings, they discovered that most of the traditional rulers in Delta North, where the crisis is alarming, gave out land under dispute to herdsmen. Sometimes they are sold completely to them or given to them in exchange for something. He also told us that the vigilante groups set up by the communities to check the menace of kidnapping and the herdsmen clashes with host communities have been successfully infiltrated by herdsmen. The vigilante groups are actually members of the communities, but the police commissioner said as things are today, they have infiltrated the Fulani herdsmen and they are giving out information to these Fulani herdsmen on Fulani herdsmen. The criminal elements among the herdsmen are those who got themselves involved in criminal activities. Since the indigenes of the community connive with herdsmen, it's easy for the herders to carry out successful operations in troubled communities. These were the observations of the police commissioner. He therefore called for concerted effort by traditional rulers to rejig the security apparatus of the various communities. Since the vigilante groups have been infiltrated by herdsmen, there is need to look inward to separate the bad ones from the good ones. He said to a large extent, doing so would solve the problem. He went further to say that most of the kidnappings in Delta North were being made possible by some criminal natives who connive with Fulani herdsmen to give information to the herders. We resolved that the vigilante groups who have the responsibility of providing community policing actually work with the herdsmen. That is why there are clashes. The commissioner of police supported the findings, saying that there is no disturbances by herdsmen in Asaba. But from Okpano to Agbo is the theater of crisis. The particular areas are Okpanama, Isele Azagba, Ubulu Okiti, Onishogbo, Azagba, Ogwash, Anubulu Kuku, amongst others. The herdsmen have become embedded in since they gave out some money to reside in those places. They feel that nobody can drive their activities, especially the destruction of farmlands, since they paid money. When we were growing up, herdsmen who visited our areas were not violent like the ones we have in our communities today. From time immemorial, Fulani herdsmen rear cow in our areas, but the criminal elements among them have bastardized the trade to the extent that one becomes apprehensive when he sees herdsmen. The police commissioner told us that we should rejig the vigilante group in our communities. He said doing that will reduce the frequent clashes between herdsmen and natives. Since the commissioner of police identified the ceding of land to herdsmen as a major contributor to the crisis, people have identified traditional rulers as one of the people who contributed to the problem by ceding out lands to these herdsmen. The chairman of the Traditional Council is also the chairman of Delta North Traditional Rulers Council. When the police made the resolution, and since it borders mainly on Delta North, the House resolved that our chairman, who doubles as chairman of Delta North Traditional Council, should convene an in-house meeting of his councils. The revelation by the police have become source of worry to all traditional rulers in the state. Even though he said traditional rulers in Delta North are the ones involved, the allegation affects all traditional rulers in the state. War would not shy away from the fact that some traditional rulers, as a ruler of some reasons, give out land to herdsmen. Some do not give the land out wholesomely. Sometimes the herdsmen come to the area which is riverine and they leave when the water starts rising. When they come, they tell us what they want to stay around for 3 months, after which they would leave. When they come with proposal, they are giving out something to the community. Some members of the community may suggest that they want to accept cash, but doing this is dangerous. If you accept cash as a traditional ruler and give out your land to herdsmen, the aftermath of the action will hurt the people of the community. Sometimes the herdsmen come with juicy offers which they make to these traditional rulers. They sometimes pledge to give 3 cows at the end of the season to the traditional ruler. Sometimes they come with money. There are some among us who fall into such temptation by taking money and cows from these herdsmen. This is really, really shocking. The revelation that the commissioner of police got from his findings, the reason for the clashing between the herdsmen and the natives, is really, really shocking. So what really happened, in a nutshell, what the findings said was that most of the traditional rulers from the Delta North, they realized they took a lot of money from the herdsmen to give them a portion of their land. Is either they give them cows in exchange for the land, or they pay to get the land. And another thing, they now realize that the vigilante groups that was formed by this community to protect the community against kidnapping and attack from herdsmen, they realized the indigenous of the community, the native of the community, they were the one giving information to the herdsmen on what to do. And at the same time, some of these herdsmen themselves, they became involved in the activities of these vigilante groups that was created by the community, by the rulers, the kings, the rulers. So it's as if the herdsmen and the natives, they were now working hand in hand. Hence, the issue of kidnapping was so successful, because they were the one giving information to the herdsmen who to kidnap, who has money, who to kidnap, and all that bit. So the findings is a really strong one. I hope they are able to resolve it. This would be a very difficult thing for them to do, because some of the land was sold, they were all sold to the herdsmen. So they sold the land to them in exchange for cow as well.